All right, I'm here at my rig, but I wanted to show what I think is the best accessory for sim racing of things that are optional, certainly not required, but super useful. And that's going to be this guy right here, which is the Elgato Stream Deck. I'm going to have one on this side that I use as a button box for the cars that I'm driving. And then I have one on this side that I use to control the stream when I'm streaming. So if I go back to this one for a second real quick, you can kind of see the things that I'm using it for. The top row is pretty self-explanatory as far as towing or the engine, turning the car on and that kind of thing. The middle row is for the dash. So I have an external dash here on my rig, and this controls that. So if I wanted to change it, you can see right now I have the DNR dash on. If I wanted to switch it, for example, say to the lovely dash, you can see that that dash would then populate. So that's pretty cool. Then I also have a fan here that controls a fan that just blows in my face while I'm racing. I can turn that on and off. Mark and reset for practice sessions. The race logic, which is right above it here, I can control that using these buttons. It's not going to work right now because the pit limiter's on, so it's kind of covering everything, but that was what that would be used for. I have damage and weather reports listed here just to ask the spotter, so I don't have to do anything else. And then pit controls as far as tires and fuel are inside that folder there. And then down at the bottom, GTP has a couple extra things that aren't on my wheel, so I put those in there. And then I have radio controls, and I also have just set up stuff like the mirrors and the paints and that kind of stuff. So that's basically the way I've used it for a button box and the way I have it set up currently. Every now and then I'll kind of change it around, but I've been on this setup for a while and really like it. And then I recently got this button box fairly recently, and this one I use for streaming controls because I just felt like I just didn't have enough control over that kind of stuff, so I ended up getting this one. So on the left hand side there, you can see these are the controls for YouTube. So the top one is going to tell me how many viewers I have during the stream. This one's obviously for starting and stopping the stream, and then the bottom one will launch YouTube Studio if I need to get to that. The middle 9 buttons there, I'm going to try to zoom in on them. Those are for controlling OBS. So this will switch between my different streams. So if I look up here and you can kind of see OBS, like, so for example, if I hit the racing button, which is right here, and then I go up there, you'll see it's switched to my racing screen. And then, everything kind of switches back around. So I have the intro, the break, racing, and then the end. And then I can also control my desktop volume and my mic, as well as the face cam, turn that on and off. I just added the song too, it's right here. So that'll play the song that we made for the channel. And then the right 3 over here I use to control Discord chat with the teammates when we're doing endurance racing. So the top button will have me join the channel and then obviously deafen and mute the mic and that kind of stuff.